So I am 2 months behind on my rapid reading roundup, so I'm going to be combining September and October. I have 9 books to talk about, so buckle up and let's get through this. With it being September, October, I did have a lot of extra spooky books in for these past 2 months. If you know anything about me, as much as I love like fantasy books, I love thrillers and horrors just as much, if not more. I love a good spooky read, so a lot of them are geared towards that. Starting off, I read Delicious Monsters by Liesl Samberry. I hope I'm saying that correctly. This was really good. I actually had a physical copy, but I ended up giving it to my friend's mom. Hi Patricia, if you're watching this, because she really likes spooky books too. So I finished it while I was with her and I was like, read this. This is essentially about a haunted Airbnb that our female main character and her mom rent out. They know it's a evil house and a bunch of shit happens, and it's really, really good. If you like spooky books, you'll definitely like this one. Highly recommend. Then I read The Whisper Man by Alex North. I honestly don't really remember reading this. All I can recall is it's about this guy that like kidnaps little boys, and there's like some butterflies involved somewhere. I don't know. I don't really remember. I gave it 2 stars, so I'm gonna say you can probably skip this one. Then I read The Trials of Ophelia by Nicole Plantania. This is book 3 in the Curse of Ophelia series. Yes, highly recommend. However, you do need to read books 1 and 2 before you read this one. So the Curse of Ophelia series, yes, pick it up, read it. I'm loving it. I can't wait to read the next one. I have them all already. Can't recommend it enough. Then I read The Haunting of Ashburn House by Darcy Coates. I really like this. It is your quintessential haunted house story. It is about this girl who inherits this big, beautiful manor from this great aunt that she's only met once, didn't really know she existed. She moves in and things go awry because it is, let's say it all together, haunted. I had fun reading it. It's nothing crazy, nothing to write home about, but it was a good little spooky read. Then I read Cowboy Casual by Holly Renee. Yes, absolutely read this. It was so much fun. It was so cute. I was fully ready to buy a pair of cowboy boots after I read this, and I absolutely did. It is a second chance romance, which I freaking love. It is about a girl who comes back from her, highfalutin job to come back and work on the farm with her grandmother, and, old flames spark again. You know what anyway. Then I read Phantasma by Kaylee Smith, and a lot of people rave about this book, and I was so excited to read it, and it was good. I'm not gonna tell you like, oh my god, you have to read this. It was very slow in the beginning for me, but it did pick up, so I'm glad I read it. I would give it like 3 out of 5 stars, but I am going to read Enchantra, the second book, just to kind of give it another shot, because it wasn't bad by any means. I don't know. I think my expectations going into this were a lot higher. But overall, good read. If you like a good gothic romance, then you'll really like this. Then I read Horror Store by Grady Hendrix. I bought a physical copy of this because I am actually using this as a coffee table book because it looks like an IKEA catalog book almost. And this is about a furniture store that is essentially a ripoff of IKEA. And it's what happens when the store closes. Weird, freaky things happen. It's a horror story. If you like really niche horror, and like the classic elements of horror, and you want to kind of make fun of like the horror tropes that happens in books and movies, then you'll like this. It was fun. If you don't like the genre, don't even bother. But if you are a horror fan, this was a fun kind of nod making fun of horror stories. Horror Store. Okay, the next 2 are actually bangers, and I loved them. I read Wonderland by Jennifer Hillier, and this was so good. Give me a murder mystery at a creepy carnival any day of the week. That's all I'm gonna tell you. I loved it. Creepy, carnival, murder. Say less. The last book I read for October actually kind of knocked my socks off. It's called Smile for the Camera by Miranda Smith, and this is a thriller book. I freaking love this. Hold on, buckle up. I'm going to give you a synopsis. So this book is about a group of actors who filmed a horror movie like in their late teens. They were probably like 18, 19. And it was like this little indie film. And Something really bad happened on the set that these actors have been keeping a secret for years. We're gonna fast forward about 20 years and they're filming a reunion special because of how successful this horror movie was. Think Scream, like think the movie Scream for this situation. And they all come back to film this like reunion special. All of the original actors are there. And someone knows the bad thing that happened 20 years ago, and they're coming for revenge, and it's so good. Teen slasher, we have Cabin in the Woods, we have an ode and a nod to the movie Scream. I couldn't have asked for anything more. And the one thing with me about thrillers is I can't stand when I can figure out the ending. I can clock it a few chapters in. This took me by surprise. I had no idea how this was gonna end, and I was honestly so shocked, and I loved it. I was gripped from the very beginning. So if you are a horror movie fan, this is the book for you. I loved it. It was probably my favorite book that I read in the past 2 months. I can't recommend it enough. And it was such a random find too. So no notes at all. So those were the 9 books that I read for September and October. I will do my best to be on top of it for next month, but you never know, you know? I'm not gonna make promises that I know I can't keep, but I will try to be better about it. That's it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.